It's an Indian summer afternoon. Perfect conditions for football, and off we go on EA Sports. This one taken from the 7. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center. Now a play fake here on first down. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Second down here after the incomplete pass. Looking to throw. That's complete over the middle to Anderson. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that open things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Play clock winding down. Back to throw here. Over the middle, complete. That's Fleming. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. And an alley to run. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 20 carries, 123 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. So the offense has it 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Oh, eluding the tackle. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Well, let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first-quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's second down.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
It's been a pretty long opening drive. This will be play number 11 coming up on third down. He'll drop to throw, and he fends him off. Oh, little 360. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Texans touchdown. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Texans have taken the early lead. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the fourth quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. And they will be led out by their 6'3" cornerback. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. Thompson to throw on second down. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete. They were looking for Marshall that time, and it's third down. Offensive starters time. Electric is certainly a word that comes to mind when you talk about Le'Veon Bell.
Love the way that he reshaped his body coming out of college. A bigger, thicker runner while he was at Michigan State. Lost weight, became more of a whippet in the NFL, and now no one can tackle the guy, whether he's running it or catching it.
Thompson now, throwing on third and long. He's going to float this, and this throw will be intercepted. Tristan Deku picks it, and the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
So it's third and long, and you know this is going to be a pass. So defensively, they're bringing an extra defensive back and just blanking the field. And this is an ill-advised throw right here as it winds up being picked off easily.
Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack. And that's what I'm seeing so far.
Jackson's got it over the middle. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Second down now after the pass completion.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Great move, but still wrangled before reaching the 20. A gain of 3, second down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Now let's go. 3-19.
He'll look to throw. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll make it second down. Now they try the right side here. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Texans touchdown. A great play there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead.
And as many coaches' meetings as we sit in, we hear the word finish all the time, don't we? And on that play, the back actually finished getting into the end zone, breaking the last tackle. Tried to wrap up, tried to use the proper technique, just wasn't able to get it done.
Now the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. That time a 6-play drive. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. On the return, it's Jalen Marshall. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 1 quarter in the books here on a Thursday night. 14-0 is our score. We're back to Houston in just a moment. Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been effective so far over the 40-yard mark here in the 2nd quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. And he's brought down after a good gain. 23 yards on the play.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a 1st down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. And they give this time to the tailback. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
He just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
And he'll give it here to his running back. That 2nd down run, a big help. The 7 yards leaves him with just a 3rd and 3 now.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough.
And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a 1st down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a 1st down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
Here's Thompson on 1st and 10. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and cause a nice play for lost yardage.
Let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Looking to throw on second down. Thompson. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. The reception good for 7. It's third down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on fourth down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on fourth and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll kick it away for the second time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. This is taken at the 23. And just a net of 31 here. 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. The play fake. He'll look to throw. Right side caught by Jackson. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Let's go. 3-19.
They're going to look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Fleming. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They go play action here on first down. Always got some breathing room. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it second down. They'll switch it up here and look to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
One thing they definitely like about this youngster is his motor. He is full throttle on each and every snap. Loves to get after the quarterback, and that has to feel good to him right there. His first career sack.
The Texans on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Larry Ridley will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. To throw now on first down. And the agility got him a few extra before he's taken down right at the 10. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. Maybe just a lack of concentration there as he couldn't haul it in.
And when you're going across the middle like that, you know, he's running that drag route, you are conscious of all the bodies and the traffic in there. But let's face it, if you're going there, you might as well come down with the football and absorb whatever else happens after that.
Here we go. Green 39.
He'll look to throw. And he fires one, but incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. Now the Texans are going to call on the field goal unit. And this one is right through. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. And, Charles, they get the field goal. Took him a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to bounce that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Marshall, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept him on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Now Thompson. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Now Thompson to throw again. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
All right, here we go. Green.
To throw is Thompson on first down. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Here's Thompson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. So we've come upon halftime here in Houston, and it's the home team, the Texans, leading this one. As we send you over to our headquarters in Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get you caught up on all the highlights from the first half. The Texans are happy to be sitting in the locker room with a lead. The Steelers just want to come out after the half and claw their way back into the game. All right, let's get it going. Let's roll those first half highlights. 1st and 10. This run stays up the middle here, and he capped off the long drive with the TD. Midway through the first quarter, Thompson's under pressure and throws the pick. Deku's the one who makes the pick to give a boost to his defense. Now following the pick, Stanford's going to cruise off the right side, and this 5-play drive goes for a touchdown. That puts them on top by 14. 3rd down at the 36. Fleming's able to haul in the contested pass, and he ends up at midfield before he stopped on the play. The Texans would go on to kick a field goal. So that's it for us. We'll go back now to Houston for the start of the second half.
All right, Larry, indeed a one-sided affair to this point as we get set for half 2. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. And to give this time to the tailback. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Looking to throw. Thompson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. This is taken around the 12. Now another. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this 3rd quarter. This is sort of what you would call the put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from them.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Now back to throw. Incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And, yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Pushing his way through. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. That's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Man, how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense. The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Steelers. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It'll be a gain of 17 at a Pittsburgh first. Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They'll run it now out of the gun. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says try something different, try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started. Thompson looking to throw on second down. Room here to run. And his throw's going to be incomplete. They were looking for Marshall that time, and that'll make it third down. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that. I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete. Thompson now throwing on third and long. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be fourth down. He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it? Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it. Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game? You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And he slides to avoid the hit. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. First down, he'll drop to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again. to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Jackson. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
The Texans on third down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now a handoff here to his running back. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Here's Thompson. Back to the air on 2nd down. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. And the Steelers on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, Thompson. And now another one thrown incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Here's Jordan Berry now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now out comes Houston. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
All right, here we go.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. 4 yards on the pickup, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the 4th.
Watch left. Tight end to left, tight end left. Here we go now. Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And now here's a carry heading left. Oh, he's got a little daylight. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They'll look to throw here. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store.
Now let's go.
Back to throw. The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
The Texans on third down. Now, they've converted 7 times and could use another right now. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Here we go.
And they'll run it here. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
The Texans send the punter out as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive. This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. 2nd down following the incompletion.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
Now Thompson throwing again. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
The Steelers on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. To throw is Thompson. From the gun, he'll throw. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Well, I'm not totally privy to what went on with their offensive meetings, but, Charles, something tells me that one wasn't in the plan.
Yeah, when we had our production meeting, they didn't exactly share that with us, but I'm pretty sure that on the play sheet, the run backwards into your own end zone play was not written down.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. And an alley to run. And now running right through it. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's getting off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble. I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. And the Steelers set to take the field. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
Throwing to start the drive. Thompson. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent. And now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there. And I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory. And as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still 2nd down.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
So a ways to go here on 3rd and 10. They'll set up to throw. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that one ups the lead to 22-0. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the fourth.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. Nifty move. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. Looking left sideline, incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Thompson throwing again on 2nd and 10. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
Oh, man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
The Steelers on 3rd down. A very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. Thompson now, operating from the gun. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Treston Decoud picks it, and he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit.
Let's go! Green, 39!
They'll set up a throw. That's caught right side by Anderson. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, ball's out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Now a handoff looking right. Try to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from tilting the rock that much.
All right, here we go. Green, 39! Green, 39!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. And his kick here is good. And that'll extend this lead now up to 25. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us want to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit. Taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Well, the offense lining up 1st and 10.
Strong right. Strong right. Strong right. Here we go now. Blue 90.
Operating from the gun, Thompson. And it's complete to the right side. It's Marshall. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
So the offense readies for a 2nd and 4.
Tight left. Tight left. Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Here's Thompson. From the gun, he'll throw. And his throw is incomplete.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he's able to bat it away.
The Steelers on 3rd down. Not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, Thompson. And that is incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's come together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
All right, here we go. 319. 319.
A handoff as they run the counter play. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw him through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set him back 5.
Still 1st down.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. He'll get 3 of those penalty yards back here, leaving him with a 2nd and 12.
You know that old expression, it's not my night?
All right, here we go.
It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Set. 3-19.
The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent, and how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column too.
So for Houston, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll get a few days to savor this one before they take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll try again next week at home against Philadelphia. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Texans as we say so long from Houston.